strong. Yeah.
As long as they go river that way. Family, we're so glad that you've tuned in here to another episode of the Profit and Growth Hour. We are in the studio today surrounded by we're sandwiched in between two beautiful personalities inside and out. I am not talking about you. I am super excited to have you here. Well, you were looking at me like,
I was like, help my self-esteem.
That look like, tell me more about my eyes.
And she's like, I ain't talking about you. So it's like, just deflated me and
I
whatnot.
said we were sandwiched.
I'm just a nobody trying to tell somebody about.
No, trying to tell
I'm
everybody.
a nobody.
Trying to tell everybody.
Nobody loves me.
Everybody hates me. Guess I'll go eat worms. We used to sing that when our friends didn't pick us.
What's that show used to be? Everybody hates
Chris.
Yeah. Okay. Well, see, you can turn your
dislike into a show.
And make millions of dollars, and now everybody likes you. You're right.
I'm trying to introduce the beautiful women we are sandwiched in between. And Dr. Business, I am just so glad to be sitting next to you today.
Really?
I am. Had it not been for you, where would I be? With Dr. Biz on my side.
All right.
There is a God. Thank you for the favor, for loving me so.
Yes, it's all God. It's the God throne.
You feel better now? Yeah. Okay, thank God. So now, tell us who you are.
I am Shanna, host of Next Level Mindset here on WDRB on Mondays at 12 p.m. Eastern.
Awesome. And you, my love?
I am Portia Fairley, host of Unstoppable Delights, Friday at 1 p.m. at WDRB Media. DWDRB Media. I'm trying to get fancy with it.
I'm stuck on the Unstoppable Delights. It's
yes.
It's like, what you selling?
Paparazzi jewelry, $5 jewelry.
Darn. Okay. No. Gonna get my cash app out.
He used cash app at the strip club. We already talked about that. So.
All right. Instant.
I swipe right. Come on, girl. I swipe right now. You gotta go ahead with your man self.
Take the credit card.
It's right down the crack. It come out sticky. Smell of fun. Like, sir, why does your credit card smell like that? I don't know.
Some alcohol.
Diamond Thunder. Diamond Thunder made it smell like that. Anywho, paparazzi.
Yes.
Unstoppable Delights. Why Unstoppable Delights?
The name.
Mm-hmm. That had to come from somewhere.
I think about everything I've been through.
Okay.
That I'm just like, you know what? I've endured so much, and it hasn't stopped me. So I'm like.
So you're the delight?
The delight
She's
is the jury.
unstoppable.
I'm the unstoppable.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. What you been through?
2 domestic violent relationships.
What
You beat
wrong?
them up?
Well, I wish I did.
Because see, people automatically thinking I was in a domestic violent relationship, and they're often like, "Oh, I'm sorry." Like, no, I was the abuser. Like, I beat him.
Like, no,
I didn't. It wasn't me. With this all the time.
No. I got married early at 19. So he moved me away from my family.
Got you.
Way up Norfolk, Virginia. So I was able to come out of that because the fact of him standing over me and saying, I will kill you. And I got up and walked away from that.
What you do wrong?
Look at
Just
this,
because
right.
I didn't stir the spaghetti correctly.
Well, see, that's like 101. You should have done that before you left your mama's house.
I did.
And then if you stirred it to the right, then it wouldn't have been a problem. But you want to stir it to the left. See, that's
just
basic things you got to be able to learn.
And I didn't know. I
Portia,
didn't know that.
Boiling the water, you got to be able to do that. I'm just saying.
Don't entertain that. I'm just gonna let you walk.
Or see,
Walk away from your third relationship. Walk away from the third.
I'm gonna let him be great by himself.
Yeah.
Or he could have just been taught to let her cook it how she want to cook it, as long as it comes out good, right? So if she stirred to the left, stirred to the right, if it tastes good, it don't matter.
But apparently that wasn't the relationship she was in. Right. So she needed to fact check prior to. Because she was young. So she didn't know the right questions to ask.
That's right.
You know, right-handed,
How you like your spaghetti.
Exactly.
2 to the left, 1 to the right, shaken, not stirred. Right.
Sugar, no
Extra
sugar.
sauce, no sauce.
Right. Meat, no
Yeah,
meat.
Like a premarital class, you go to the kickboxing class together. you know, to find out if he can fight or not, and whether or not he's gonna kick you close to the face or all those things. You got to determine.
What's your marriage counseling look like? Good grief.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Gonna get that little baby pool and put some baby oil in it.
Give you some Visine.
Some Vaseline. Drip.
Just a little bit.
Just a little. Not enough to kill you, but enough to cramp you. So you escaped 2 domestic violence relationships.
Okay. Are you in a relationship now?
I am.
Really?
I am.
Is he punching you?
No, he knows.
Sure?
He's not. He knows.
Then you can say something.
No.
Here.
No, he knows.
Tap once for yes and twice for no.
Let me tell you why. Because now she got one that's smaller than her.
Oh,
so she got one like, well, she already know I'm playing
all
that
the
now.
abuse that she had to endure, she taking that on him. He like in the basement tied up.
You know how they say pick on somebody your own size? She picked somebody her own size.
He's a big guy, but you know, there's called the 45 cal.
There we go.
okay.
There we go. And she said it so politely.
Right?
Like, yes.
I have a best friend now.
Yeah.
She's a 45.
She comes with me everywhere.
And it's documented.
Yeah,
So
very much.
same one with what they say with bodies on it. So.
Right. I love the range. He knows that.
Okay.
He knows that.
Excellent. Well,
So
congratulations.
he treats you well and everything.
This relationship is like the most awesome relationship I've had. Like, it's just like, it's all about me. And I'm not saying like be selfish or he spoiled it, but it's just the
That
fact
sounded
that
real selfish.
well, I have to be. He tells me it's okay to be selfish, but to be spoiled and to be acknowledged like you're a queen and everything. I I love wearing my crown.
Okay, I am
right.
with you. I'm with you. To be able to be the boss in the streets, be the lady, be the independent, be the business owner, whatever. But when I come home, oh darling, whatever will I do without you, sir? Like,
It's true. It's true.
I have no problem.
Let it all go.
Yes.
Right.
Can you please come kill this spider? Oh my God, rescue me!
To be feminine for a change is
All
wonderful.
day.
But can women do that? Because it sounds good. And I know some can. But oftentimes when you a baller out in the street, you come home and you want to be the baller.
No.
So now you want to be the alpha, you wearing the pants, you telling him what to do, you running him ragged, and you got all the stuff because you CEO of your own, which is cool, but you don't take the CEO hat off when you come home. And that sometimes can become a challenge.
But that's because you hooked up with a peon,
Say it.
right?
That's right. That's right. Because typically you do want to let it go. You do. When you're out in the
Strong
street,
women
you are
don't
absolutely.
want to.
You want to be the least amount of strength in that home.
Exactly.
Yeah. You want
Right.
to just be
I
at
agree.
peace. You want the man to be the man of the house. But if you can't do that, then you also know how to go about it and take care of what needs to be
Or
taken
if
care
you
of.
can't trust him to do that. I know for
Exactly.
myself, before dating, I wanted to see how they treated themselves. I wanted to see, what sort of challenge have you gone through and how did you come out? Like, don't give me the representative.
Right.
Like, I got what you're giving me, I got it, I understand it. But what are you giving yourself? What are you investing in? What are you doing? What does that look like? What does a bad day look like? Like, that is the things that I was once asked, how do you define submission? And I can submit to anything I can trust.
That's right.
If I can't trust you, you can't trust yourself
Exactly.
Right.
with your responsibilities. But you want me to just be all in and helpless and defenseless with you in the back seat of your car because we ain't got nowhere to live.
Right. That's right.
Don't be trying to get us a house. I'm the alpha. You sleep in the back seat with me. Like,
Did you see that on Instagram? There was actually a video of a woman. It was boyfriend and girlfriend, and she purchased a deed of a home that needed to be renovated for her
Yes,
boyfriend.
I
Did you
saw
see that? And he was like, I want sneakers. I wanted, really sat there and said to her, what is this? I'm not fixing up no house. I'm like,
Right.
sis,
really? Right. That ain't the one.
run
That
right
ain't the
now.
one. That ain't the one.
Yes. Apartment complex. See, and I'm thinking it's just a home. So apartment complex where not only can, let's say for right now we fix it up and we live in one dwelling of it,
And then
we
we
live in
go
one
bed by
apartment
bed.
and we go, apartment apartment by apartment, and now we not only making sufficient income for ourselves, we're not paying rent right now, and we can grow together. And this man wants sneakers and a watch.
He act a monkey.
I'm like, I'm gonna need you to get your shoes and know
Right.
that it's time for you to go.
And how can I sign my deed back?
Right,
You know what?
right.
Because this is crazy, but again, it has a lot to do with what you look for in a relationship.
Exactly.
And the questions that you ask. And, you know, they see you, they know who you are.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you have to, it goes back to you.
To
You know,
knowing who you are.
Exactly.
Being in the relationships that you were in, have you identified? I've asked people, they be like, yo, girl, let me holler at you. And I've asked, what part of me made you think it was okay to, like, what have I done? Like, what
made you come
where
to
did
my-
this come from? Like, what did I do? What I got on that made you think it was okay to
Right.
approach me that way? So being in those back-to-back relationships, I expect, what is it that you discovered that was in you? Like, if I fix this about me, I won't attract that type of person.
I guess the fact of feeling of being appearing to be weak or needy. So, you know, I had to be strong for myself.
Okay.
And then I do have two beautiful girls that I'm like, I do not want them to follow the same pattern.
And think it's okay.
And that, so it's just from knowing to be strong. Now, some men are intimidated because you're strong, because like we said, we can't turn it off because you working and then doing the business. When you get home, I'm still mommy. So
Right.
it's like, just leave me alone. Just let me just cry or do whatever I want to do.
Right.
But just with the men, it was just, I had to learn to, Portia can't be appear to be weak and needy. So I had to change that and put my Lisa Ray ponytail on and
Yeah.
stick my shoulders back and be like, okay,
Right.
I can do this. So,
Gotcha.
so the approach for the men was different. So I go to Walmart, sweatpants on, they like, no. So I had to change that.
Like, I got sweatpants on. You should see me with them off. Think twice about rolling your eyes at me.
Yes. Don't even play.
It's a pot. It depends on what the drawers are underneath.
Wait, what time of month is it? We'll figure it out.
That'll change it all.
No, I was in my very first relationship, and I think, I don't know enough about domestic violence. I know that my very first one, we were together, and it wasn't until the third year that it came out.
Wow.
And for me, same thing, was taken away from family, taken away from friends.
Yes.
We went to visit family, things like that, but it was always together. It was never just me going back home or
Right.
anything. And being young, and that was my first, like, I didn't date in high school. Like, I was an athlete in academics. When I say no interference,
Wow.
like, my mom was scared. She's like, do you got a date for the prom? I was like, yeah, me and my girls, we going. Like, the whole girl basketball team showed up. She was like, Jesus, give my daughter some femininity, please. But that's just who I was in high school.
Right.
So right after, you know, my father was military. So he was often gone. And I felt like whenever he came home, I had to get as much time in with him as I could, as much attention as I could, because I know military, he was going to be taken back out to wherever
I
again.
understand that.
So that's how I drove my first relationship. You're here, give you as much attention as I can, because that's what I was missing with my dad, and that's how we developed our relationship. All of us, it wasn't just me, but all the kids. You
Right.
know, dad's home, this is now we all sitting at the table eating. Now we're all doing
Right.
whatever. He's got that undivided attention. He's got everything. So to give that to a man fresh off the block as in a new relationship,
Right.
one, as I'm older now, I have to think about, first of all, he's never had that.
Right.
You know, somebody giving him all of that attention and all of that love and everything. But for myself, as I transitioned out, it literally was, I'll give you what I want to give you when I want to give it to you.
Right.
You know, and it wasn't in the sense of, you know, I'm being nasty because he was nasty. It was, Kim, you got to pull back. You're doing too much. You're doing the most, and nobody asked you to do all of that. Ain't nobody
Right.
tell you needed to be all of that. And now that you've done it and it's not being reciprocated, and then when you stop doing it, now you cheating, and who is it?
Right.
Where he at? Give me your phone. Back then it was, give me your pager. Give me your pager. Who is 911? I know that's code for something.
5, 5, 6.
Right. But just realizing, hey, you don't have to do all that. So I learned to love me. And when I tell you I love me some me, I used to tell guys, if you can't outdo me doing me, don't try to do me. Because I have to come first, because I don't know how long you're going to stay.
Right.
I don't know what your agenda is or what your plan is. So finding that when people go through domestic, if you're going through a domestic violence relationship, if you're dealing with something, you can ask for help. Do not be afraid. You're worth helping. You are valuable enough to have someone, and there are people that love you, and they may even recognize what you're going through, but you won't let them be there for you. So you've got to be able to do that, be strong enough to say, hey, I'm worth more than that, and call
Absolutely.
out. Yeah,
Get out.
call a hotline, a shelter, even for men. My sister used to beat up her boyfriend.
Yeah. Some women are bad. I mean,
Honey, Sophia. Oh, it was that old mule. Yeah, you know that old damn mule, mighty stubborn.
Keep that.
So, right.
How can people get in contact with you?
I am on Facebook. It's Unstoppable Delights. You'll see I'm in blue. My face is blue on there.
Is that on purpose or?
I just thought it was
filter was
sexy.
wrong.
I was
Oh,
like,
okay.
let me just do the blue look. Like, yeah. I'm also on Instagram. Am I saying it right?
Instagram.
I'm just
Instagram.
kind of showing my age just a little.
IG
gram.
For sure.
She on the gram.
I'm on the gram. I think those are the only two right there. My
And that's
daughter.
Unstoppable Delight as well.
Unstoppable Delights.
Unstoppable Delights.
Yes.
Plural.
With 2
There's
Z's at
more
the end of it. So it's not an S. I put the
Oh,
Z's.
okay.
Okay. Unstoppable
Zigzag, zag.
Delights.
Yes.
Got
Zigzag,
it.
zig.
And your show airs?
Friday, Eastern time, Eastern Standard Time at 1 p.m.
Awesome. And you? How can we find you? Tune in to hear you?
absolutely.
Madam
You can find me at sgrahamconsulting.com, and that is GRAHAM, as well as on IG as s.graham consulting.
So you shortened it. I was like, it's the
It's the
gram.
Insta. It's on the Insta.
Gram.
Anyway, they get it. They will find you.
Absolutely.
Family, you're tuned in to the Profit and Growth Hour here on WDRB Media,
The voice of the community.
Can I slide out?